comedians dressing up in whiteface, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband.
That's what she thinks is going to work on me. Making up AI photos and releasing them of my husband, literal AI photos, and trying to pass them off as authentic so she can make a claim that he's gay. Accusing us of being separated like she did this weekend. Attacking my children, that was trending.
Why did you claim Candace said that Erika killed Charlie? She's never said it that I've seen.
Why would she bother saying that? It was just like an attack from every angle yesterday.
Erika Kirk is completely losing it after Candace Owens came back with even more receipts. And now she's dragging Candace's husband and kids into the drama. After Candace exposed more of Erika's lies, Erika allegedly sent her crew, including Laura Loomer, on a mission to dig up dirt on Candace's husband, George Farmer. Laura went as far as sharing an old mugshot of George, lying straight to her audience about why he was even arrested. But Candace didn't sit quietly. She fired back and shut both of them down with cold, hard proof. Now let's catch you up on Erika's latest meltdown. On April 30th, Erika sat down in Charlie's chair, dressed head to toe in black like she was ready for war, and boldly claimed that Candace Owens had accused her of taking her husband's life. But here's the twist: Candace never said that. Candace questioned the official story.
Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
Erika's whereabouts the day Charlie was taken out, how fast she moved on, her role in reshaping Charlie's legacy, and the alleged financial scandal buried inside TPUSA. But at no point did Candace ever say, Erika personally did it, and Erika knows that. She threw it in anyway just to make Candace look extreme. And that was only the beginning. Erika and her online army wasted no time launching a full-on attack against Candace across social media. Laura Loomer posted a mugshot of George Farmer and hinted in the caption that he had done something seriously criminal. Laura wrote, "Exclusive. I have obtained the alleged mugshot of Candace Owens' British husband, George Farmer, from his alleged arrest in Nashville, Tennessee." Candace, do you want to explain this to your audience, or should I? Last week you said you had nothing to hide. Laura also dropped an alleged police report claiming George crashed his truck while driving drunk, except the report wasn't even his. Laura had literally shared another person's arrest record and tried to pin it on George Farmer. The community note on the post called it out immediately, stating the arrest report does not belong to Candace's husband, British-born Thomas Stahl Farmer. The note also flagged typos, a wrong date of birth, and a hair color that doesn't match George at all.
His name is Alexander Dugin, who is sanctioned by the U.S. government because of his influence operations, who has said that his strategy is to stir up hatred and discord within the United States. No, it always has to be war, 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 and so that America starts to rip itself apart. And guess what? That Russian intelligence agent interacts with Candace Owens.
And the fact that Laura still hasn't taken the post down, even after getting publicly exposed for faking evidence, says everything. They're not just desperate, they're scared. Scared of what Candace knows and what she's about to expose. Because if Candace was really just spinning wild theories, they wouldn't be throwing this much energy into trying to silence her. Here's where things get even wilder. After Laura Loomer's smear attempt on George Farmer crashed and burned, Erika switched gears and sent the TPUSA machine after Candace. TPUSA spokesman Andrew Colvert posted a screenshot of an alleged text exchange between Candace and former TPUSA employee Aubrey, claiming Candace was joking about Erika and her husband. But the plan backfired instantly because Aubrey herself jumped into the replies and called Andrew out for completely twisting the story. Aubrey wrote, "Andrew, this isn't a misunderstanding, it's a very obvious spin. Calling that bragging is just not a serious interpretation. You're doing exactly what Candace said, avoiding the truth and hoping people won't notice. Post the full context or move on." Every single move they make against Candace keeps blowing up in their faces. But the desperation didn't stop there. After every attack failed, they pulled out a brand new angle. Now they're claiming Candace is connected to Russian intelligence. So overnight, Candace went from conspiracy theorist to Russian puppet?
Turning Point USA people telling me to look further into Andrew Kova. Was it Aubrey, as he tries to insinuate? It was Mikey McCoy. Mikey McCoy got a message out to me via a third-party person that I should look more into Andrew Colvett. Why would Mikey McCoy say that I should look more into? And I did look into, things got very shady. And that's when I started going, who the hell is Andrew Colvett, actually? He's obviously not a very good PR agent. Everybody can see that. Who is Andrew Colvett? What are his ties?
It's clear they'll throw anything at the wall rather than face the real issues and address who's actually keeping people divided in this country. And the public isn't falling for it either. One person on X wrote, "Did Larry Looney come up with that? You guys sure are attacking Candace with a lot of propaganda. You just can't handle truth tellers." Another user fired back with, "Lol. You don't believe this? This is the psyop sent against Candace because you all are mad that your Black Widow friend is being exposed for the Jezebel and Delilah she is." And while all this chaos is unfolding, Candace dropped a serious bombshell. She revealed that TPUSA is crumbling from the inside, and that's the real reason Erika is in full panic mode right now. Candace exposed that TPUSA Chief of Staff Mikey McCoy was the one who reached out to her through a third party, telling her to investigate TPUSA spokesman Andrew Colvett over an alleged conspiracy. The walls are closing in. Meanwhile, Erika's online army tried a brand new angle, suddenly spreading the claim that Candace had walked back every single allegation she ever made.
That young man. I forgive him.
But Candace wasn't having it for even 1 second. She fired back immediately and wrote, "I have not retracted a single claim I have made about Erika Kirk. Stop with the BS Twitter trends. I stand by every single statement I have made and have not edited any of my past statements in light of Brian Harpole's lawsuit. I look forward to the power of subpoena." That's not someone who's backing down, that's someone who's locked and loaded. Now let's talk about Brian Harpole, because this subplot is just as wild as everything else. Harpole was Charlie's head of security on the very day Charlie was taken out. And now, instead of quietly disappearing into the background, he's decided to sue Candace for allegedly spreading false claims about the Fort Huachuca story. His lawyer took it a step further and posted the entire lawsuit publicly on X, writing, "On behalf of Brian Harpole, I filed this defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens and Mitchell Snow. We will not be providing any other statements. You can follow me for updates. Follow him for updates? On a defamation case? Since when do serious legal professionals turn their clients' lawsuits into social media content and ask the internet to subscribe to their journey?"
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face.
That alone raises eyebrows. But what makes this even more jaw-dropping is what Harpole is actually claiming inside that lawsuit. He says he's losing clients and business opportunities, and he's blaming Candace for that. Not the fact that his last high-profile client, Charlie Kirk, was taken out in broad daylight while Harpole was supposed to be protecting him. Let that sink in. The head of security whose client was publicly attacked on his watch is out here pointing fingers at a podcaster instead of doing some serious self-reflection. The nerve is absolutely unmatched. And this is exactly why the coordinated attacks on Candace are backfiring so badly. Every new lawsuit, every fake police report, every bot campaign, every planted story, none of it is making Candace look guilty. It's making her look like someone who hit a nerve so deep that an entire organization is scrambling to shut her up. When people have nothing to hide, they don't need armies of lawyers, spokesmen, and social media operatives working around the clock. The sheer volume of resources being thrown at silencing one woman should be the headline itself. Now, let's get into the question that sits at the center of all of this, the one that nobody in Erika's circle ever wants to address directly.
A journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself, and she was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss." To which I replied, "It is so nice to put a name to the face, especially with all of the slander, the lies, accusations that are out there surrounding my husband's and myself."
Why is Erika Kirk visibly more furious at Candace Owens than she has ever publicly appeared toward Tyler Robinson, the man actually accused of taking Charlie's life? Think about that for a moment. Days after Charlie was gone, Erika stood before the public and offered her forgiveness to Tyler Robinson. She extended grace to the man charged with ending her husband's life. But Candace? Those are the people she can't forgive. Those are the ones drawing real heat and coordinated retaliation. The emotional math simply does not add up. When Erika talks about Tyler Robinson, there's a calm, almost rehearsed composure. But the moment someone brings up Candace questioning the timeline or poking holes in the official story, something completely different shows up on Erika's face. The tension, the sharpness, the controlled fury, it's all right there for anyone paying attention. And people are absolutely paying attention. Then there's the Daily Mail moment that slipped under the radar but honestly deserves its own conversation. Erika was recounting how a journalist from the Daily Mail approached her. And the very first thing she chose to highlight from that interaction was that the journalist told her how beautiful she was. Not the questions she was asked, not the story being investigated, not the uncomfortable pressure of media scrutiny. The first thing that came out of her mouth was the compliment about her looks. Why? What does that have to do with anything? The answer becomes clear when you look at the bigger picture. Erika has shown repeatedly that the mockery aimed at her appearance cuts deeper than almost anything else. The skits, the memes, the comments about how she carries herself, those seem to wound her in a way that the actual circumstances surrounding Charlie's passing simply do not.
Totally. There'll be people that are like, did you see what they're saying about you on X? And I'm like, no, I don't have time. I don't have time. And actually, quite frankly, I really do not care. I am actually really busy right now playing Magna Tiles, and that is way more important.
Changing diapers.
Yes.
And that disconnect is something her audience is noticing more and more with every interview she gives. What adds another layer of irony to all of this is that Erika boldly declared just weeks before all this chaos exploded that she doesn't read what her critics say. She claimed she was too focused, too busy, too unbothered to even glance at the negativity. But every move she's made since then tells a completely different story. She knows exactly what people are saying. She knows about the skits, she knows about the memes, she knows about every post, every thread, and every comment section. You don't mobilize an entire team of operatives to attack someone's husband over claims you claim not to be reading. And here's where the contradiction hits hardest. Erika Kirk built a significant part of her public identity around encouraging women to embrace traditional values, stay home, raise the children, support the family, step away from career ambitions and public platforms. That was the message. That was the brand. But when the moment came that would have made that lifestyle the most meaningful when her husband was gone and her children needed their mother's full presence, Erika chose the spotlight. Not quietly either. Within days of Charlie's passing, she was on a stage, under bright lights, walking out to fireworks in a glitter pantsuit, beaming like someone who had just achieved something remarkable. The contrast between what she preached and what she practiced was impossible to ignore for anyone watching. And since that moment, there hasn't been a single significant photo opportunity she's passed on. Every public appearance, every platform, every camera, Erika has been present and ready, which again by itself isn't necessarily a crime. People grieve differently. People process loss in different ways. But when the person in question spent years telling other women that public life and personal ambition were incompatible with being a good wife and mother, the optics become impossible to separate from the message. Now zoom out and look at the full picture Candace is painting. She's not just throwing random accusations into the wind. She's pointing to a pattern of inconsistencies in the official story. A pattern of aggressive retaliation every time someone asks a question that gets too close to something uncomfortable. A pattern of an organization, TPUSA, that appears to be hemorrhaging from the inside while its new public face works overtime to keep the curtain from being pulled back completely. If Candace is right about even a fraction of what she's suggesting, the consequences go way beyond one woman's reputation. The entire TPUSA infrastructure, the fundraising, the events, the media relationships, the political connections, all of it rests on a version of events that Candace is actively challenging. That's not a small threat. That's an existential one. And that's precisely why the response hasn't been a simple press statement or a calm rebuttal. It's been a full-scale war, fake police reports, planted narratives, Russian agent accusations, defamation lawsuits, and bot armies working in shifts. Erika doesn't just need Candace to be wrong, she needs Candace to be completely discredited, dismissed, and buried before the questions Candace is raising reach a critical mass of public awareness. Because once enough people start pulling on those threads simultaneously, the whole thing unravels in a way that no PR team can contain. But here's the brutal truth that Erika keeps walking straight into every single time. Every attack she authorizes against Candace, every smear attempt that gets exposed, every desperate move her team makes does the opposite of what she intends. It doesn't make Candace look like a conspiracy theorist. It makes Candace look like someone sitting on something real. It makes Erika look like someone with something significant to lose. And it makes TPUSA look like an organization that operates through intimidation rather than transparency. The public is watching all of this unfold in real time, and they're not as easily manipulated as Erika and her team seem to believe. Every community note on a fake police report, every clapback from someone like Aubrey correcting the record, every person on X pointing out the logical gaps in the official story, it all adds up. The narrative Erika is trying to protect is developing cracks in places she can't patch fast enough. And at the end of all of this, the question that will define how history remembers Erika Kirk isn't whether she was mocked online or whether a journalist once called her beautiful. It's whether the people surrounding Charlie Kirk that day are ever held to a real standard of accountability. Whether the financial questions surrounding TPUSA ever get genuine answers. Whether the inconsistencies that Candace has been cataloging with receipts and timestamps ever get addressed directly instead of buried under a mountain of distractions. Candace isn't going anywhere. The subpoena comment alone should tell Erika everything she needs to know about where this is heading. Legal discovery doesn't care about Twitter trends or fake police reports. It cares about documents, communications, timelines, and facts. And if this ever reaches that stage, the carefully managed version of events that Erika has been protecting is going to face a level of scrutiny that no amount of Laura Loomer posts or TPUSA spokesman spin can prepare it for. Every time Erika chooses retaliation over transparency, she's not just losing the public relations battle, she's building a case against herself in the court of public opinion that gets stronger with every move she makes. She's not defending Charlie's legacy. She's defending the machine, and more people are seeing that clearly with every single passing day. If you made it all the way to the end of this one, you already know this story is nowhere near finished. Drop a comment below and tell us what you think is really going on here. If this video opened your eyes even a little, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe so you're the first to know when the next piece of this story drops. See you on the next one!